smoke. Oh man.
Oh shoot, we live. How y'all doing tonight? Y'all go ahead and come on in. It's that time. We are on time tonight. It is 7:15 Wednesday. We are fifth episode of More Than a Pretty Face live talk show. I am happy to be here tonight, but I am going to give you guys a couple minutes to get on. And then I'm going to introduce my beautiful co-host, and I'm going to introduce her to the world. I'm excited to have her here with me tonight. Before I get super far into the show, last week I realized at the beginning of my episode there was some sound issues happening, and so I just want to rewind and go back. I want to give a shout out to a business out in the Adrian area. If you guys are not following this person, the business is called Supreme Paintworks. This is an interior painting company. It's a young man out of Adrian. He's a single father, and he started a business, and he's a certified interior painter. And so I just want to give his company a shout out. You can find him on Facebook at Supreme Paintworks, and he does Adrian and the surrounding areas, and you can find all that information on his page. So shout out to Gabe for continuing on his business venture, and we hope to send some business his way. So kudos to you, young man, for starting your business, and I hope things start working out in your favor and keep going no matter what. So I welcome you guys to the show tonight, and I'm super excited to have you guys here with us. I'm even more excited to finally be able to introduce to the world. I've been talking about this since about mid-season 2. I wanted to bring a co-host on with me, and sometimes you just got to wait for that right person to show up. And I have known Miss Ari now for a good while, a few years now, and she's always been a very bright light. She's a very spunky young lady. I just love her to death. And so I'm happy to welcome Miss Ari Honey to my show here on Facebook, More Than a Pretty Face live talk show. So thank you, ma'am, for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much. This has been one of my biggest supporters, you guys. Really since day one that I launched More Than a Pretty Face to the public world. She has been a big supporter. She's always giving me hugs and just telling me to keep going. And it's just inspirational to be able to be around people that can continue to encourage you, especially when it's women. And we'll talk about some of that tonight. We're going to get into some topics and hopefully can entertain you guys and bring some excitement to the couch a little differently than me sitting here sometimes by myself. Right now, we're going to look at her being here at least once a month. So third Wednesday of the month, we can expect to have her here co-hosting. And then, we'll be filling in guests along the way as well. And we're welcome to have guests when she's here co-hosting. So don't think just because she's here, we can't have guests. We would love to have some people.
Yeah.
So welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
I'm so happy to have you here.
I'm so happy to be here. Like you said, I love supporting. That's just me. So yeah, I'm gonna be here.
I appreciate you.
We going,
we're gonna have a good time.
I might cry a little bit.
Listen, one thing we're gonna do is keep it real on this couch. That's something that you guys know about me. I'm very transparent when it comes to my life. Ari's the same way, which is why this fit is very good. She's very blunt. She keeps it 100 with people, and I love that about her. And so that's one of the reasons that this just works out and fits the vibe of the show. And so go ahead and introduce yourself the way you would like to introduce yourself to the world. I know that you're a mother, so if you want to talk about that, but yeah, introduce yourself to the world. Let us know a little bit about Miss Ari.
Honey on Facebook, Ari Honey. I'm just Ari though, for real. I'm a mom, y'all. I'm a mom. I work. I support. I uplift. I kind of I see myself as God's worker a little bit. I was raised by my grandparents, so they just raised me a little differently than anybody else my age, I feel like.
Yeah, grandparents' love is a little bit different, and especially, when you're looking at our grandparents and the generations behind us, grandparents just were a little different. Like, listen, I'm a grandma. I'm a guy. I love my grandbabies, but it just is different. It's a different love from a grandparent.
Sure.
there's a couple reasons I could go into explaining why it's like that since I am a grandma, but that's amazing that your grandparents
They
raised you. They raised you to be a beautiful woman. So
Thank
we appreciate
you.
them
Yeah,
for that.
I'm just me, yo. I'm Ari. A lot of people know me. They know of me. They know my family. So, but I've changed since the younger years.
Right.
I'm more laid back and calm, and I try to be. I'm still a little, but
Listen, we all have our moments. I'm 46,
I
and
love
sometimes
this.
you think I'm 25. You know what I'm saying?
Put it
Sometimes you
on.
gotta act a little,
Put it on.
Now you have siblings. How many siblings do you have?
Yes, I have a lot actually. So
She said, "Hold on, let me think
I
about
gotta
it."
count. That's crazy. I have 2 older brothers for sure, and then I have 2 older sisters, and then I have 3 younger sisters. And that's just between my mom and my dad. So
Oh yeah, you
yeah.
got it. That's a big
Shout
family.
out to the Cottons and the Little Johns, y'all.
Okay, wait a minute. I did not know you was okay. So Cottons. So one of our great friends growing up was Mikey Cotton.
Mikey, okay.
So I don't know if you know who that is. Maybe probably related because there's not too many
There's
Cottons.
not too many, but I feel
in
like there's
Jackson.
2 different sets.
And there might be.
Okay.
Stacy's his cousin, Stacy
See,
Cotton.
it doesn't
So
ring a
maybe
bell.
not. So okay,
yeah,
might be a different set, but shout out to them. There's some people
Yeah.
from back in the day from Parkside. But I didn't know I didn't realize you were related to the Little John. So that's a
Yep.
big family in the
It
Jackson
is.
area. So
It is, and a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
But yes, my
There's-
daddy is a
there's
Little
a-
John, y'all.
a lot of Little Johns in Jackson. So you're not originally from Jackson,
I'm
though.
not. 7 Mile. 7 Mile, Detroit. That's where I grew up, and then my family, like I said, my grandparents had a farm out here. So
A farm. So you were raised on a farm.
Listen,
I didn't know that.
gets deep. It
Okay,
gets deep.
let's talk about it, girl. I didn't know you was raised on a farm.
Listen,
that's
little
a whole
city,
nother level.
little farm. It is. It is. Like I said, my grandparents, they were born in the 1920s and the 1930s. So you got to think it was a way different time than what it is now.
So coming
and
from Detroit to the farm, that's a big change.
it's a shock.
Yeah, that's like, sorry y'all, I'm getting real comfortable over here. That's a big
shock.
change. That's a real big. And how old were you when you came from Detroit to Jackson?
So when we moved, I was young, but we were still like back and forth a lot. I was like 8 when we finally
Settled
got here. Yeah,
settled.
Yeah, and then we were still back and forth throughout the years, like because I never went to a Jackson school. It was always like the outer schools,
Right,
and then, even when I got older, I went back home and I graduated back there.
Oh, okay. So you lived in both places. You were kind of like,
yeah.
I don't want to say bi-coastal. You're not bi-coastal, but
yeah,
2 cities though, which
City
is
and
nice
farm
though to
life.
have family to be able to kind of have both sides of
to get away
of-
and, yeah,
of your
'cause we
roots in
lived
you
that.
too, though.
We
Like
lived that
Detroit to the
everyday
farm
city.
is a big difference, y'all.
It's hard. It was hard. It was hard. But
Yeah, I mean
got
that's a
through
big
it.
transition, especially at 8 years old. You're what, 2nd, 3rd grade,
yeah,
so you're kind of getting
Yeah.
to know how to make friends, and then they're like, oh, let's head on over to the farm.
yeah. I didn't make too many friends. You gotta think I went from an all-black school to an all-white school.
Right.
And
So
we're
what school?
talking about,
Not that it matters, but what school did you go to in Jackson?
I went to Addison. Actually.
Okay, that's where my little brother graduated from.
Yeah.
Small world. I mean, he's
Yeah.
a little bit
Shout
younger
out to
than
some
you.
of my
but-
Addison people too, because I had some good people out there for real.
Yeah, my little brother actually really loved it out there. He I have a little brother that's 28 and 29. Is he 29? Yes. No. He'll be 29 at the end of March.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't know I have a little brother that's the same age as my oldest daughter.
Oh, I love that.
Me and my mom were pregnant at the same time, which is a whole nother story. But he grew up in Jackson going to Da Vinci. And then I
Okay.
think by the time he hit middle school, she moved him out to Addison. And that's where he essentially graduated from. But he loved it. I mean, he was always a quiet kid, which is why she put him in Da Vinci anyway. And Addison had such small classes
For
that
sure.
it just worked for him.
For
So
sure.
that's the irony of things. That's just weird. I would never thought Addison. I was
For
more
sure.
thinking the other side of Jackson, like
East
Northwest.
Jackson.
I was thinking
I
more
went
like
to
Northwest
for a
area.
year. I
Did
got
you?
some friends out in Northwest
Do
too.
you?
Yeah. So
Yeah, Northwest is
We were
wild.
all
That's where I
over.
graduated from
Yeah,
secretly.
for sure.
I'm Jackson High's alumni, but I graduated from Northwest. But that's
Ooh.
exciting. So you do have a lot of siblings. Now, did your siblings move with you to the farm, or
So my brother was always there. He kind of like raised me too.
that's awesome?
My brother, and then my siblings, they came sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I didn't really get to meet my dad's side until I got older, so like 15, 16.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I grew up with 2 siblings, and then, like I said, at 18, 17, 18, I had another brother. And so we weren't raised, I wasn't raised with my little brother. Honestly, I think he
Right.
thinks he's the only kid because
Sure.
my older sister had already had kids and moved on, moved out, moved
Yeah.
on. And then my first little brother, he lived with my dad
Okay.
at 14. So our baby brother grew up as literally an only child.
Yeah,
And so,
for
I
sure.
think he sometimes
Stop
thinks
that,
he's
yeah.
the only child, but
It's just me.
it's okay. So that's exciting though. That's a big family. I didn't have that, but I can't imagine having that many siblings either because you probably then have a big extended family as well.
Yeah. Oh,
Probably
yeah.
lots
Oh,
of
yeah.
nieces and nephews.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
yeah.
And then I was the only girl for a while too. Like it was my brother, and then I had like 4 or 5 cousins, and they were all boys.
Okay. So you was rough and tumble growing up.
Love
Had to
that.
make sure you was tough.
Listen, I don't know about that. It was a little much. but-
Well, hey, I bet you could stick
It
up
was
for
a-
yourself
and I
real
can.
good. Yes, girl.
It was a little much, but I made
A little
it.
chaotic sometimes, I'm
I
certain.
made it.
So what do you if you want to tell the world what you do for your work, you're welcome to tell the world. And then what do you enjoy doing outside of work? Some
I'm
of your
at Mood
hobbies
right now, y'all. I know y'all probably see me at the Mood.
at the Mood.
I love it there. Come see us. Outside of work, I go to school actually. So I'm
What are you going to
12
school for?
months away from my bachelor's in business and science and health administration. Jeez, oh Pete's.
That's a mouthful. That is a mouthful.
I got it out, but dang, yeah.
That's exciting.
It is. I've come a long way.
Yeah.
I also have a medical billing and coding certificate through them. So
I
I'm
have a
just
medical
building
billing
my-
and coding degree, girl. I knew we had
Okay,
something else in common.
okay.
Okay. I never used the degree though.
Listen,
I swear to God, I will
got
never.
it and kept going. I'm like, that's not I want
Listen,
that.
I got the degree in 2013, right? I did it online, which is even just worse because, like, if anybody in the medical billing and coding world knows, it is a hard ass job. It's something hard to
treacherous.
learn, and it's forever changing. Like even during school, like they're like, "Oh, new coding book." Like, wait a minute, what?
I didn't even learn the last
I
one,
just
but
started
okay.
understanding, and now you're going to switch the format. It was really hard to learn online. And then when I got the degree, right, I was working at Sam's Club at the time. I was like knees deep in Sam's Club. I'd been there years. And there wasn't a job in Jackson paying more than it was going to pay me to leave Sam's Club.
Right.
So then it just prolonged my career and put me in debt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because now we're 12 years removed. I have no clue. Nothing about none of it. It's just a piece of paper that I could frame and say, this is how much this piece of paper costed. Yeah.
Yep, about $30,000.
That was the reason though. My kids were watching, they were young, impressionable, you know what I'm saying? And it was at that time I was very if you start something, you have to finish it with my kids, right? And so if they started sports, like if you've convinced me that you really want to play, you're playing until the end of the season. If you want to cheerlead, you're cheering until the end, right? And so as a mom who's telling your kids this, you have to live that through. So once I started school and I knew right away I hated it, I just had to stick it out.
For sure.
And I didn't change what I was doing. I was just like, let me get this done and be done with it. But hindsight's 2020, but I did finish. So, but kudos to you. A bachelor's degree is a lot of schooling. That's a lot of dedication to put into something.
It really is. It really is. So
now, do you have plans what you want to do with your degree after you graduate, or right now you're just like, let me get through school?
Yeah, I do. I got a couple different plans. I'm really looking into a community clinic, focusing more on family unity. I see a lot of broken families. Yeah, I see a lot of broken families. And they don't start with the basics. Basic. People don't know how to fill out applications. They don't know how to put a resume together. These single fathers need more help. I could go on.
Yeah. It's definitely a need. Yeah, mental health. You know, that's
it's okay. It's okay to go see somebody and talk to somebody, even if it's just somebody. Y'all, like this is kind of like therapy for me, you know.
Sometimes it's just having a conversation with somebody else that's an outsider too. A lot of times we turn to the people that we love the most to have these conversations, right? Which can be therapeutic. However, there's a lot of bias that comes in when you're talking to the people you love and care about. especially if you're talking about, let's just say relationships as an example. When you have problems in your relationship and you then deliver the information to your core group of people, right? Your family, your friends, the people that are around you, then they look at your situation differently. They look at the person you're with differently because now they're like, oh, now I know what this
Now I've
done
got the
did,
inside,
right? And so when we do that, when we put ourselves in those situations to have conversations with the people we love, then we sometimes damper that relationship with our own personal situation because now other people are kind of side-eyeing you because now they know too much, right? And so it's okay to go have a conversation with an outsider, go have a conversation with a therapist. Telehealth is a real thing. There's a lot of therapists out here, and I know even from firsthand experience, it's hard to find the right fit.
It is.
But I encourage you to not give up
Keep
on
trying.
looking for the right fit
Keep
because
trying.
there is somebody out there that you'll sit down with and be able to just relate and feel comfortable having that conversation. But I agree, basic things like applications and there's just certain things that aren't.
Finances.
Yeah.
Please teach your kids finances.
Yeah, credit, the importance of credit. Yeah. I wasn't ever taught, right? This is like when we talk about life and childhood and things that we learn growing up, right? I always have said my parents didn't do a bad job at raising us, right? However, I grew up in the 80s, and at that point, moms were fully out in the workforce. This was a newer time for that. This wasn't always a thing, right? Moms got to stay home for many, many years until they fought to go to work for some crazy ass reason. I don't know what they did that for, but you know what I'm saying? But my mom was a full-time working mother. She had to go to work every day, right?
Absolutely.
And so for us, I always had, and I don't know if my siblings feel the same way. We've never really talked about it, but I always had this false sense of security, right? You just go to school, graduate, get a job, take care of your family, and that's it. And it's my parents did a great job at masking what was actually happening financially. Not so much with the relationship that was very bold, what was happening. It was not great. But financially, they were always able to provide and give more. And that's how they showed us love, right? But they never instilled in us how to build credit, the importance of credit, the importance of saving money, how to save money, right? I still at 46 struggle with saving money because I've learned to live on very little. And so it's easy to become in a mindset, and it's hard to shift from when you've learned to live on little. When you get more, you just spend it because you know how to live on little, right? And it's you got to have that mentality shift to be able to focus another way. No, how about I save this extra money that I didn't have before?
Yes.
And start establishing something. But we do have to teach our kids this.
It's so important.
It's something that isn't talked about enough, right? It's credit isn't taught in our schools. Balancing checkbooks, which I know everything's digital, but you do still have to balance your account.
Shout out to my mom, because she would sit me down and she would not make me, but just here.
Balance
here.
it. Yeah.
Here's your calculator if you need it. But
right. I mean, but it's important because those basic things are still a part of our technology advanced life. Like there's still things that we need to know how to do.
Honestly.
Everything in life. And not just in the checkbook. Okay.
I said everything. Everything is checks and balance.
Absolutely. Everything is about balance in life. So let's talk about is there any topics you want to touch on since you're here for the first time? I've talked about so many things, you guys. I've talked about the simple things, I've talked about the hard things, I've talked about the emotional things. And we could talk about a million more, but is there a topic you want to touch on or talk about it all tonight?
Just the mental health.
Just mental health.
We're struggling.
There's a lot going on in the world.
People, stuck in their own, you're in your own way a little bit. And if you just kind of look over.
I think it's easy. I don't want to say this the wrong way because I don't want anybody out here to take this the wrong way, especially if you're struggling with mental health, which I am. I would.
We all are.
I would
I
be
feel
remiss
like
to sit
we
here and act
all
like my mental health is
are.
completely in check because
We
it's
all
not.
are.
But I think sometimes it's easy to deflect and play victim instead
Mm,
of really getting the true help that we actually need,
for sure.
right? I've been there. Listen, I've never been against therapy, but I also went a couple times and felt like it wasn't doing anything for me,
Mhm.
right? Which again, these are shifts in your mindset that have to happen in order for you to receive what's coming to you.
Sure.
But I always looked at therapy like, okay, I can go sit down with Mr. Therapist, Miss Therapist, right? Have this whole conversation because the one thing that really eats at my soul and my spirit is my broken relationship with my family.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, I could go have this conversation a million times, right? With a person I know, with the whole world,
Yeah.
with a therapist, and the outcome does not change. And so for me, I'm like, what is therapy going to really accomplish? Right?
I
Because
keep-
I've already dealt with all of this. Like I've already digested what's happened. I've already
Right.
kind of accepted what it is.
Right.
But I still can't like let it go because I
Right.
just can't make it make sense.
Right.
And I don't know if therapy can help me make it make sense, right? And we haven't gotten there yet. Like it
Yeah.
still just don't
It
make
still
sense, right?
just-
And I don't know if that's just the therapist I've
That-
picked in the past or what
For
happened,
sure.
but we also have to be open to reciprocate and listen to what's being given to us when we're finally willing to sit down and have those conversations, right?
Absolutely.
And it's so easy to just say, nope, I'm good.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I can handle it. I do my own dosing,
Mhm.
however that is, right? Some people drink, some people smoke, some people, indulge in different things to avoid the true conversations that need to be had within themselves.
Absolutely.
But it definitely starts within too. Admitting to yourself
Mhm.
that, listen, maybe my mental health isn't in check, right? Weirdly, last night, I don't this is so weird to talk about right now because I didn't intend to talk about this, but I woke up last night, which isn't weird. I wake up every night in the middle of the night and I'm like stirring to go back to sleep. But last night, for some reason, I had this weird, overwhelming fear come into me about not being here anymore, right? Like the fear of not, I've never really had a fear of not being on the planet, right? Or past, like I'm not scared of death.
Okay.
But I just had this like weird, like uneasy fear of like all the stuff that's happening in the world and thinking about my kids and my grandkids and not being able to be here to like round them in and protect them. And I was like almost having a panic attack in the
Yeah.
middle of the night about it.
Of course.
And I had to like sit up and like really like take a couple deep breaths,
Control
you
your
know what I'm saying?
breathing
And really
yeah.
like find a way to ground myself out of that thought because it was just like consuming
Spiraling
me.
you.
Yeah, it was like I was just laying there and I was just like, why can I not? And it was just like so many different thoughts and so
For
many
sure.
like it was so negative that yeah, I had to sit up physically in my bed and really like ground myself like, girl,
Yeah.
it's
Get a
okay.
grip.
Like
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
happening. Like
Yeah,
right.
yeah, it's not
But
happening
it was
right now,
almost
but
like
it was like
I
it
was
was
like
like
in a panic of
something-
like I
yeah.
wasn't gonna wake up in the morning. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
wow,
It was
yeah.
like this real weird panicky feeling. I did end up finally going back to sleep, but it took a
Okay.
while.
Of
You know what I
course.
mean? But that's part of understanding that there's some mental health stuff happening
For
right there.
sure.
That fear all of a sudden overcame me, but it wasn't probably that. It was so many other things.
For
Like
sure.
the way of the world right now
For
is
sure.
heavy on all of us.
Yeah, it is.
And it's weighing on some people even heavier than
Heavier
more,
than others.
you know?
Absolutely. That's why it's important. It's just so
Yeah.
important. I've been looking into like books too, like self-worth and
Mhm.
self-love and
Absolutely.
just healing books. You have to heal in order to get through it.
Mhm.
You know? So
I think too that it's that first initial like aha moment.
for sure.
Like something is just off. You know when you feel okay and when you feel off.
Mm-hmm.
You just know. Like we sometimes get out of bed in the morning. What do we say? Man, I'm about to have a messed up day.
For sure.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
not gonna be my day.
When
for
you
sure.
do that, you've already set
You've
yourself
set the
up
tone. Yes.
for your day to not be
Watch
great.
your words.
Yes.
I'm so big on
Yes.
this. Anybody who knows me will tell you, Ari will tell you, please watch your words.
Yeah. I
When
mean,
they say
because
there's
it's
power in the tongue, there is.
It is.
Anything you speak, say, think, even when you're thinking it,
Mhm.
you're setting it in motion already.
Yeah, because it's one of those things that you have to train your mind away from the negative.
Absolutely.
And journaling and writing, like you're talking about the self-help books, those are
For
things
sure.
that can encourage you, right? For a while I was doing when I initially kind of started, people that have been following me, I was doing Carrie's Arts, that craft boutique, and I was selling a lot of my mirrors and different stuff. I made mirrors that said on them, "It starts with me."
Yeah.
Little pocket mirrors, and I started just giving them to people, because really at the end of the day, every single day starts with you. When you wake up in the morning, when you close your eyes at night, even if there's somebody next to you, it still all starts and ends with you.
Absolutely.
And you have the control over the attitude you wake up with, the attitude you go out throughout the day with, how we react when things happen, right? I'm a quick reactor.
Yeah.
I'm a quick reactor. Like, listen, what you said, you know what I'm saying? Like, real fast. Like, I really want to, but I'm trying to learn finally in life that just doesn't really work. You know what I'm saying? The tone, like you said, the tone of somebody's voice when you're having a conversation with them, influx of your voice, all of that matters when you're having
matters.
conversations.
It does.
And to further that, serious conversations need to happen verbally, because the other side of this is text conversations
For
get
sure.
taken out of context, and it's very hard to have conversations with people over text, but we all do it. Why?
Yeah.
Because none of us want to get on the phone no more. You know what I'm saying?
No,
But
that's absolutely true.
it's such a weird dichotomy of the world we live in, of we don't really want to have conversations, but it's so important
There's
to
so
have.
many conversations that need to be
that need to be had with tone and influx and facial expression. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I love FaceTime, because dang it, if I'm gonna get on the phone, I want to see you. I want to see your face. What are we talking about? I don't want you over there rolling your eyes at me like we in 1992.
For sure. Like we're on the house phone.
Slamming phones down. We're not doing that. Affirmations, yes. Affirmations, daily affirmations are extremely helpful. And again, that mindset that we choose to have. Like, if you want to have a great day, set yourself up for that as soon as you get out of bed. Say, listen, today is going to be a good day.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just told Ari before we started the show, I'm still trying to get used to Wednesdays, you guys. It still feels a little bit weird to me, because I was so embedded in Thursday nights. And the reason is because it was like, whoo, Friday's tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, the week is over. We can finally let loose tomorrow. And Wednesday isn't the worst. We're still midweek. We only got 2 days left, but I'm still like trying to find that excitement on Wednesdays. You know what I mean? I'm like waking up like, girl, it's your day. You know what I mean? We got the show tonight, and I'm having to amp myself up, but it's getting more comfortable. I'm 5 episodes in. I'm feeling a little more, but it's still like, dang, it's only Wednesday.
For sure. I know, you're like,
but our attitude does set us up for a good or bad day. And one of the posts you see on Facebook, and I've seen it probably 3 times today, so maybe that's why I'm going to bring it up. But that post that says, quit yelling at your kids in the morning.
Oh my goodness, yes.
It is so important to set our kids off on a good start, no matter how young or old, too. Like, we have to think about toddlers and how they emote and how they understand so much more than we think. And listen, with my 1.5-year-old granddaughter living in my house, I'm telling you, they get it.
They get it
at that age, and even younger. You know what I mean? And so it's important for us to not only set ourselves up for a great day, but also talk to the people around us, you know, in a way that we want to be talked to, because you're also giving the energy in the house. And I have to be careful about this. Listen, I puke shit all over my daughter Lana every damn morning. She comes downstairs, I'd be like, girl, I got something to tell you. And she probably goes upstairs like, I wish my mom would just shut the hell up. It's too early. But it's like, I don't see anybody all day except my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I work from home. So it's like, as soon as I see somebody, I'd be like, oh, I got to tell somebody something. But it's important to set ourselves up each day to really have a good day, and understanding that reality is we're not going to always have a great day every day, right? Definitely. Life happens, things happen throughout the day, but when you become aware of
Yeah.
the emotion connected to the reaction, it helps you understand and process it differently as well. And that's something I've learned a lot over the last couple years, really paying attention to other people's self-help journeys as well.
Everybody has a story.
yeah.
Everybody, everybody's going through something.
Yeah, and right now it's it's
Yeah.
weighing heavy on folks, you
Yeah.
guys. Life is heavy. Let's lighten the mood. It's not really a light conversation, but we're going to talk about, since we're talking about things that are happening in the world. What's your thoughts about getting on an airplane right now?
Listen, when Delta went down, I said, oh, yeah, that's it for me.
Listen,
The Delta
Naya skirted and flipped on the runway. Like, y'all. I seen a post today that
I've been on
said,
the phone with that lawyer
listen,
so fast because
did
the
you see the
Delta
video
went
of
down.
the people climbing out of the plane?
I was okay. I said in my head, as long as Delta don't go down, I'll be all right. Guess what happened?
Delta flipped.
That's why you gotta watch your words. I promise you. I said this.
You manifested.
I said this last week.
You
I said, I'm good as long as Delta stay in the sky. Look what happened.
There was another accident today in Arizona. Another plane crash.
Y'all stay on the ground, please.
Listen,
because
here's what people are gonna say though. The probability of getting a car accident is higher than a plane. Listen, I'm controlling the car.
2, 3. How many of them fell out of the sky?
Listen,
in the last 28 days.
I seen a report today that said 87, even though mainstream media is reporting like 10,
5.
I really did see something today that said 87. Now, I can't confirm or not. Let me just get a disclaimer. I cannot confirm or not that it's true, but
gives me
anxiety. Girl.
Because I was just getting comfortable with flying. Like, I love I love to travel. I would go on plane, show them, see you in a week. Yeah. You mean I got to drive now?
Listen,
I'm still gonna go on vacation. But it's gonna take me 4 days to get there.
Ask my team last year, Cameron, how'd I get to Atlanta? I flew.
It's that quick hour.
I was like,
that's 45 minutes in the air. Yeah. I'm there.
I'm like, I'm not getting in the car for 12 hours, smushed in the back seat to drive to Atlanta. What I tell y'all this year, soon as that third plane crashed, I just got in the group. I said, so we drive to Atlanta if we go this year? Like, I'm not getting on a plane. My anxiety is
big bus.
Yep. The big bus, 2 cars, it don't matter. I'm not getting on a plane. Atlanta, if we come and buy a car this year, I'll be included. Now listen, now watch my team do the switcheroo on me. Watch them be like, nah, we get on a plane. Guess what? I'll see y'all in 2026 in Atlanta. I'm not going. I can't do it. I cannot do it. My anxiety, I
already had anxiety. Now you want me to get up there knowing this bitch just
I flew last January to Florida by myself. I met all my friends down there. They got to go a day ahead of me because I had to work. And I was a little nervous, but not like super paranoid, but I had never flown at night before. So to fly at night was a little eerie. Like, it's just weird because you're just in the dark ass sky and you can't really see anything that's happening.
Like, how they know where they're going?
Right. Like, what, like, is GPS is good? Like, what's happening right now? But now, like, fast forward a year and to see all the, it's scary, honestly, because like, you just really want to say, what the heck is actually happening? Like, what's really happening? Like, what's really happening?
They know. They know what's going on.
They do. I'm definitely not getting on a plane, though.
I don't want to find out. They keep it. They keep that secret.
Yeah, we all right. We don't want your discounts right now, okay? Spirit, you can keep your
flyer miles.
All that. Give them boys to somebody else.
Keep your hotel credits. I'll pay full price when I get there.
I can't do it right now. And I definitely, I actually will probably have to fly later this year, so I'm hoping that things chill out and things get back to a normal pace, because I'm driving out to California and I don't have time to drive back. Like, I don't have time to drive back from California, you guys. So let's fix the skies, okay? Can we fix the friendly skies? Because listen, my daughter ain't moving to California without me going out there with her. Goodness. So, like, I don't know how that's going to work. But we're talking Labor Day, so I got some time.
God.
So, she said, not the busy time. Well, don't do that. We're going to call some positivity to the sky, Ari.
I'm trying. I said if the Delta, that's what you want me to do. I tried.
Listen, seeing that plane flip like that, you guys, though, is just, it's utterly terrifying.
It was on fire.
Like the people were
I'm
jumping out that
so
thing
glad
so fast.
everybody walked
Yeah.
away. You know,
I mean, but think
because
about that. Like that close to landing. I ain't trying to be funny. You know, you're supposed to keep your seatbelt on until the plane is stopped. But
For
some
sure.
people don't.
No.
Some people be ready to snatch that thing off as soon as it's out the air.
Yeah.
So thankfully, people were not doing that.
But
And
I also think he landed that bitch kind of hard.
yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened. But they said
Just
the
go back and
wind.
watch the video because I've been on some flights and yes, I judged the pilot because bitch, you know how to put this thing down smooth. Why is you bouncing this bitch on the tarmac?
What? Listen,
See, I can't.
Listen,
That's why I'm staying on the
my
ground,
flight
y'all.
when I went to Atlanta though, I was like, okay, he kind of landed a
'Cause
little bit hard. It was kind of
You
like,
know,
yeah.
listen, I've been on some good
that's
flights.
that smooth
and
landing.
they know
Yeah.
how to.
Yeah, they know how to get them tires down real smooth.
That Delta was deep. He slammed that bitch into the ground. It was his fault.
She said she
Watch
went
the
down
video, y'all. Watch the video. It's his fault.
Y'all
He broke the landing gear off that bitch. That's why
Yeah.
it caught on fire.
I mean, the plane flipped. So, like, think about how
That
quick.
bitch bounced. Exactly.
Like, imagine a car flipping off the side of the
Listen.
highway versus like a whole plane flipping on the landing strip. Like, that is diabolical, y'all.
That's
is,
the first
like,
thing I would have said when I clicked, motherfucker, you were climbing out cussing. You know you put this bitch down too hard. Now look at us. They'd have been mad at me. I'd have been on the news.
I've been hanging from the lug.
Okay,
from the lug.
talking so much shit. They get him out here.
She said, "Bring the pilot out on the landing.
Bring him out here. We gotta come out here. Bring him out here. You go back to school.
Sir, you put
You
the
lucky-
plane down on the ground a
You
little
lucky
too hard.
I made it out alive. Y'all about to pay me, but you know, smooth, soft.
Right, because like all jokes aside, bro, because
No,
this is
for
not a funny
real.
topic, but like in reality, are these companies gonna be are people able to sue these companies because of this? Like, what's
Yeah.
the?
What you mean?
I mean, but do they
Call
have the money to
Sam.
pay
Any of
them?
y'all from Michigan, call Sam. Y'all know what to do.
You said who? Listen, bro.
Call Sam.
I
Sam
mean,
gonna
because
get you
like
that money.
realistically, do these companies have the money to pay out these lawsuits?
part.
You know what
How
I'm
many
saying?
people
Like,
on that
I guess
plane?
that was
80?
more what I was asking more than like,
got-
can they
They
sue?
got
But
that money.
I mean, we think.
Will they go
do,
bankrupt after? Is what? Because I want it all.
They said we'll pay y'all out, and then we got to shut it down.
Turn this into air cotton.
Listen, on a positive note, there is a young black man, 29 years old. I cannot think of his name right now, but he's trying to buy Spirit Airlines to be the
Okay.
first black commercial,
Okay.
airline company. So that would be dope if that happens. Like, listen, I fly Spirit. I don't even knock them. I like their
Listen.
prices, and I ain't never had a problem yet. So
I
we're just gonna,
haven't.
Actually, they did piss me off when I went to Florida. They got me on that little $99 luggage carry-on thing because my
Oh.
bag was like this much too big, and the lady wouldn't let me shove it down in there. So I had to pay $99 at the last minute. But I bet you I didn't pay it coming back.
Should have took a hoodie or something. I'll put that.
Girl,
mug
I
on.
had so much stuff in there. I was just so irritated. I just paid the lady and got
I'm
in the
like,
plane.
hold that.
Tony was like,
Hold
girl, you
that
should have put
attitude,
all them clothes on.
ma'am.
Tony was like, girl, I would have stood right there and put everything in my
Okay.
suitcase on.
Because you mean a smidge? Let me take these.
Like, she literally would not let me shove the bag in there. I was like, girl, okay, where do I got to go to pay for it? You know what I'm saying? Like, but it did irritate me. But I was like, let me just get on this plane and get to Florida. My friends is down there having a good time. They waiting on me. You know, I'm trying to surprise my best friend down here. He don't even know I'm coming to Florida. Man, it was a good time though. But yeah, flying is off the
Yeah.
list for right now, at least the next foreseeable 6 months. I can't,
No,
I
thank
just
you.
cannot see myself doing it. So pray for my friends. I do have some friends that are in the Bahamas right now on a cruise. So prayers for y'all safe return, Mabel and Lele. I know y'all are just having a
Yes.
blast out in the Bahamas. I have seen the beautiful weather and I'm super jealous, but I do not envy the flight that y'all are going to come back on. So prayers that it's just safe travels and we see y'all soon. Anything fun going on this weekend that you're going to doing? What do you do for fun? Like, you go to school, but I know you have fun sometimes.
Oh my goodness.
So what do you do for fun? I know you like dancing, music.
Yeah, I like to eat for real.
Oh,
Y'all.
she
I'm a
said, let me
foodie. Eat because I don't know what it is. Growing up on that farm, it'll get you.
Right, but like growing up on the farm, I assume you guys had animal like
We had a few
raised.
animals, but it was mostly like corn and
Oh, okay.
potatoes
So not really
and berries
livestock
and
that you guys.
fruits and
Okay.
yeah.
All right, but still, fresh fruits and
Hell
vegetables
yeah.
are way better than
Ah,
what we get in these days with
my
this stuff.
grandma
They try.
had 8 gardens, and they all full
Dang.
of shit, everything.
Man, listen, I wish I had
Everything.
a green thumb. I just can't.
Ooh,
I
she
don't.
made the best greens in the world. Let me
I
tell
bet
you.
fresh and right out the garden. I bet they
Mm,
was super good.
mm.
None of that spray all on them from the from the
All the
produce section.
pesticide.
Walmart.
Stupid.
Ah,
Yeah, but
um,
I'm a foodie. I like to travel and eat food. I need to get out more, I guess.
I mean, we live in Jackson, so I ain't trying to knock Jackson, but there isn't a lot to do as far as the nightlife is concerned right now.
For
So I
sure.
mean, unless you're eating, which me and my friends go every Friday. So I don't know if you would call us foodies, but we definitely eat every Friday. Just about
Oh,
we go
yeah.
out, out to eat. That's kind of our girls' night to kind of catch up on the week and decompress and
Oh, yeah.
see each other. Before the weekend, a lot of us do stuff on the weekends. I've been door dashing my ass off like crazy, just
For
trying to
sure.
make some moves happen. And
Do some money.
CMV, me and the team are traveling out to Wisconsin next month, and so
Oh,
trying to
nice.
get some things situated for that little trippy trip.
Nice. That'll be nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
Hopefully,
little.
it'll be a little bit warmer because it's cold like
We're
it
going
is here
St.
there.
Patrick's Day, so
Okay.
hopefully, but Wisconsin's cold too,
That's
and
what I
it's
said.
right
It's cold
off the
just like
lake,
Michigan.
so we'll see. St. Patrick's Day is hit or miss. The part that we drive through, we got to go around Chicago to get
Mhm.
over there. And St. Patrick's Day is the day we're driving, which anybody that knows Chicago
Oh,
is crazy
gosh.
on St. Patrick's Day. So I don't know what that's going to do to
It's
affect our
crazy
drive.
on a
but
regular day.
yeah, we went a few years ago for my daughter's. My daughter's a St. Patty's Day baby, and we went for her birthday. And I was like, never again
Right.
will I come to Chicago for St. Patrick's Day. Like, we seen the River Green. It was cool, you know what I'm saying?
There you
But it
go.
was there. It was an absurd amount of people. And yeah, Chicago's busy, but like that
Yeah.
weekend,
Oh, it's big.
it's
People
just
fly in
you
for
can't
stuff like
even
that.
move
Yeah,
down there, especially if you're trying to be by the river.
for sure.
It's just shoulder to shoulder people. You know what
For
I mean?
sure. No,
Listen,
thank
I
you.
don't like stuff like that. Just like New York City, cool, it's fun, it's beautiful. Manhattan's great, but 2 days in, I gotta go. Too many horns. Like it was even the people were
Too many
annoying, but too
horns.
many cars honking. Like
Okay.
it's just horn, honk,
loud.
honk. Like it's constant.
It's loud.
When you're outside, all you hear is hustle bustle, cars honking. Like it literally just every taxi just it's so
It's like,
irritating.
what are you
Like
honking at? We're all sitting right here.
there's nobody can move. There's 976 cars at the light. You know what I'm saying?
We're not going anywhere. What are we
I mean, but
honking
they inch you so
Oh, I
close. I
already
mean,
know.
bumper
Yeah.
to bumper. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't. As much as I'd be like Jackson is so little, I really can't see myself living in a big city because I don't like the traffic, y'all. Traffic is for me. I've been a person that's commuted a lot of years of my life.
For sure.
And then of course DoorDash, and you're in your car a million times a day. You know what I mean? Jumping in and out, but when we went to like Atlanta last year, the anxiety being in that car on them highways, like
Yeah.
I'm in the back like breaking my, you know what I mean? I'm like breaking and can't do nothing.
And
I'm
they
in the back
doing 90
seat,
down
and
there
they
in Georgia.
fly,
I live down there. Shout
and
out
there's
to
too
my
many
Georgia
lanes.
people. Yeah.
Too many lanes. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to cross 6-7 lanes to get off the exit. You know what I'm saying? And you know
Or
how
the exit's on the left. You're like, how the fuck
and you know
do
how
I get over there?
Not even that, but you know how GPS will do you in
Oh,
0.2 miles.
You right.
And you like 2.2. I can't get across all these lanes in that short amount of
Nope.
time. You know what I'm
Nope.
saying? It's just big city living is not
It's fun.
for me.
I
Like
love
I can go visit, give me a little bit of time there, but
Yeah.
I gotta in and out, few days, and that's it for me. Atlanta we had a blast. I loved it, but it's just
It's a lot.
too many people. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? The difference down there is at least you get to see famous people,
For sure.
and most of them were
They're
blended
normal
right
people.
in. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. A
They
lot of
act
people
like
out there in
bougie.
the A.
They didn't act like the bougie, celebrities. Most of them we interacted with were all super cool and down to
Hell
earth. So
yeah.
that was awesome. Hopefully,
Oh, yeah.
the Black Podcast Festival happens again this year because that's what we went
Oh,
for
yeah.
last year, and that was super dope. What y'all want to talk about out there? I know I got a few of y'all watching. What's up, O'Shea? You at work? You still watching? I will be here Saturday, sir. But you only got me for a couple hours, so you better make it count. That's my boy O'Shea. He coming out with season 2 of Shay So Crazy podcast, y'all. So keep your eyes tuned for that. Yeah, CMV been over here working behind the scenes, y'all. We got a lot of stuff happening. We got our videographer working with us, and he's doing an amazing job. Also, there's some connections that are happening. I know Cameron really been behind the scenes doing some business networking type stuff. So we're excited. I mean, CMV's got a lot in store for 2025, and More Than a Pretty Face has got a lot in store. I want you guys, I know it's very, 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 very early in the year, but I do want you guys to be reminded that the Sidewalk Chalk Art Competition will happen again this year. Now,
Yes, I missed it last year.
I don't know when I'm going to hold it this year. Obviously, with Lana leaving to go to California, there's some things that are happening right around that time. And so timing this year is going to be a little different. Hopefully, I can get some sponsors on board this year. I would love to get some canopy, like the big tents that can go across the parking lot, so that we can have our artists covered if it is a super sunny day or for some crazy reason it's raining or something. But definitely looking forward to having that competition again this year. It's just going to be a matter of when is the exact right time. I don't know if I should do it like before summer gets too hot or wait till the end of summer. So guys, just keep your eyes open for the information, but definitely that is going to be happening again this year because it was a beautiful community event and something that I want to continue to grow and have to look forward to. Speaking of mental health, I do want to let the community know there is this Friday coming up. Shout out to 21 Blooms Tattoo Studio, which is where Alana works, and shout out to Emily Radke, who is the owner. There is a maternal support group happening this Friday, and you can find information on their Facebook page and their Instagram page, 21 Blooms Tattoo Studio. It is a maternal support group for parents that have lost a child or children. And I encourage you, this is the first of the support groups that she will be holding. And there is a very, very sad story behind it all, but it's allowed Emily to be able to come to you guys in a forum to be able to be support for the community as well. Having gone through her own loss, she wants to be able to open the doors to other parents who have experienced loss of a child. And so I encourage you to tap in with 21 Blooms. Again, they have their first maternal support group happening this Friday evening. I think it's at 6 o'clock. But again, tap into their Facebook page for more information on that. And I encourage you to attend if that's something that you or your family has experienced. It's a good support area for those type of situations. So I wanted to make sure I got that out there because I thought about it this morning. And, you know, when you get live and you get to talking and having a good time, your brain goes 82 different ways because I could talk about 900 things here. My brain's on 12,000 other things. So this weekend too, I know Genesis Terrell, shout out to him up in Lansing. His fifth, Cameron, do you know? His anniversary party for being at 96.5 is coming up this Friday, and I shared the post today. So if you're interested in tickets, pre-sale I think is $10, $20 at the door. Black attire is recommended. I don't think it's required, but they're asking people wear black attire. So if you want to go out and support big man Genesis Terrell for that, tap into his page, or again, I shared the post on my page as well. Anything exciting for you coming up this weekend? You working? You're always working. I feel like you're always at work. Yeah. I'm like, girl, you always at work.
You know where I'm gonna be at Mood, y'all. Check us out. We got some good deals and stuff coming up too. So
yep, check the page Day. If you guys know what Mood is, or you don't know what it is, and you want to know what it is.
Yeah, we're gonna check them out. St. Patrick's Day. We're changing our weekly deals too. We got some good fucking flour coming. So come check us out. Shout out to Kevin, best boss in the fucking world.
Yes. Also Skylar from Jackson Blackhawks.
My
He's
team,
over there.
For real. My team is unstoppable.
Yes. You got some cool
Nina,
people.
BLT, Rashawn.
Yes, you guys got an amazing team of people over there. So
definitely.
What is your next goal to expand your podcast on what separates this one from others? Ooh.
I know.
So really my next goal, honestly, I really want to continue to expand on being able to be live with an audience, right? If I really could make that shift and find the right place for that to take place. I love to be in front of an audience. And many of you know I've had a live audience previously. I just don't know that the environment is the right one right now. And so we're going to kind of pivot from that. But my goal is really to have an audience. But also, I would really like to do like a Sunday morning live, like early morning, like a news person, which is just super weird, but I'm always up at that time of the morning.
Okay.
And I don't know, my brain is just like in a different place on Sunday mornings. And so that might be something that I do maybe once a month. Bring like a special Sunday morning episode for those early people like me. So yeah, those are a couple things. What separates this podcast from others? I would just say in general, the passion that I really have for my community is what inspires me to keep going with this podcast. And even more than that, the brand itself. I want people to really understand what More Than a Pretty Face really is, what it stands for, and the reason that I really brought this to life. Because I really do want people to remember and look at themselves and realize that no matter what we're going through in life, what's happening, how we look, how we feel, we are more than what people see no matter what. And so I hope that
Yes.
message continues to transcend across not only my community, but I hope it outreaches to people to just help people understand we are more than what we see. I don't know if I'll ever have a slogan, but you know, I just say if we all couldn't see tomorrow, does it really matter what anybody looks like, right? It's
go.
about our character, our morals, our integrity. What do we stand up for when nobody's looking, right?
Definitely.
These are the things that are important, and we're all more than a pretty face. And so that's to the men as well. I know this brand feels very feminine. Excuse me, but this is for everybody. It really goes beyond
Definitely.
women, but it did come from growing up being told that I was pretty all the time. It's something, it doesn't bother me, and that's a weird way to put it, but it bothers me. Like I don't care that you think I'm pretty, right? It's
sure.
just like so facetious at this point. I'm 46. I've been told 8 million times in my life I'm pretty.
More than that,
I'm
sure.
more than that. Like, do you
Definitely.
know me? Do you want to know me?
That
Do you
part.
want to try to get to know me?
Anything.
Or do you just see me for who I am,
That
right?
part.
And so it did come from that, but it is just more than
For sure.
it's more. It's for all of us. And so I just encourage you guys to continue to dig deep, look beyond what you're seeing in people. Many of us have so many talents that we don't share. A lot of
Absolutely.
times it's the fear
Yeah.
of coming out of our shell and bringing those things to life. And so I just encourage you to, you know, continue to look at people for more than who and what you are seeing. There's many people out here that have a lot more to offer than what you think they do when you look
That
at them at
part,
first.
that
I mean,
and surround yourself with good people.
yeah, that part.
I have to tell people that all the
Yeah.
time. Like
Be careful. The company you keep is important in the moves that you're making going forward.
that part.
And part of me coming over to Catch My Vibe, it was an easy move for me because the people over here have morals and integrity. And I feel like a year in, I'm solidified here, right? I'm comfortable here. I know the people I'm working around. We don't tolerate negative, weird behavior. You know
That
what I'm
part.
saying? We eliminate that stuff because
That
that's
part.
not what we're about. That's not what we stand for. That's not what my
That's
brand
not
stands
what you
for.
want around you,
And you
for
got to
sure.
have positive company around
For
you.
sure.
Live audience and raw perspective and needs. Some questions for the other. Same question for the other lady. Okay, same question for you, Ari. What is your next goal to expand, and what separates? I mean, she's here
Well,
with
I
me, so that
mean,
was a big
yeah.
first step. But
Yeah, expanding, like I said, I'm just doing school right now. I'm doing my school, and then I'm gonna work on doing that community clinic for everybody.
yeah,
I want to keep. I don't know. I'm a single mom, but I feel like I've seen more single dads who are struggling a little bit more
hmm
because a lot of us come from single moms. We
Mhm.
kind of know what to do. Not saying we don't need help too, y'all. I'm not saying
Right.
that. It's just that sometimes these men really don't know. They don't have it. They haven't been taught it. They don't know
Mhm.
where it comes from. They don't know what love is for real. and we need to show up and show them before they end up dead or in jail.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, we definitely got to support our fathers, and I know there's definitely a couple father support groups out here. Many of you know Cornell Sample, who was on my couch last season. He definitely has a support group out here for fathers, and so I encourage you to still reach out to him if you're looking for some support. And then I also know Bibles and Burgers organization also has a fathers group, and they've been doing that for a few years.
I love that.
Justin Counts also has a fathers group that he's focusing on.
Yes,
so there's some good resources, and
this.
definitely to be able to pull the whole community together to encourage and uplift one another will come along with that community center. So kudos to you, girl. I did not know you was on your way to your bachelor's.
Listen,
so as much as you think you know people,
the little
you know,
wins for me, you know,
that's a big win
for a whole year.
Oh shoot! Kudos to you, girl. That's a big win. That ain't a little move, girl.
I just sit back and
right,
because I've done that. You can't tell everybody everything.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have to keep to yourself and kind of mold it, and then when it's
everybody's story has to be told, and there's a time and a place for the story to be told too.
For sure. I'm just so big on helping others too.
Yeah.
You know me.
Sometimes, it's all right to say, hey.
It is. I did it. I'm doing
right.
it.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Kudos to you, girl.
Thank you.
School is hard. Knock these last 12 months down, and we'll be right there to support you through it. So,
no, I'm in the last little.
Yeah. That when you get to that last, you're like, oh, it's a year. A year feels like a long time, but in reality, it goes so fast.
It does.
Like, we're already almost to month 3
there you go.
of the year. Already almost month 3, you guys, of 2025. I really appreciate y'all. We are going to actually cut up out of here on time tonight. We're going to move into the weekend with positive mindsets. You guys, like I tell you every weekend, no drinking and driving. Please keep yourself around positive people. If you need a ride, reach out. Listen, my homegirl, make sure she got a ride every weekend. I promise you that. When we go out and drink, somebody's a DD ahead of time, whenever it is. So I encourage you to just make sure you're being safe in whatever you do. Wake up with a positive attitude the next few days and just keep things moving. Shout out to you, Miss Ari. You guys can expect to see her back exactly a month from today, since February is a short month. It will be 4 weeks from today. She will be back for, I don't know what episode it is, like maybe episode 9 or something like that. But anyways, I appreciate you guys tuning in with us. I am super excited to be able to bring this to you every week, and we will be back next Wednesday with big man Genesis Terrell in the building from Lansing, Power 96.5. We will see y'all next week. We out.
Peace.
In the live. No, I'm just kidding.